Okay, so let's do a little quick recap here. That's not what I wanted, but I will go with it. Of Central City after the first fire in 1874, and the school is tied into these pictures, and you can see it. Oh, why do you do that? You can see the school right here in both pictures. And then in that earlier picture, this church isn't there. So this will give us a marker in time. And also the other one is this, what do they have it? Westman's and Newell. This building right here, this is very important, and I'm going to show you in our timeline. And then the other building that is very important. So let me get these circled out. This church right here. This was I'm going to show in pictures on the next pictures to show you this church when it was being built, and I'm going to show you the town that originally burned down, and then this town that sprung up after it. And you have to remember that you're basically in the middle of the Rockies. There's no way in or out until you get the train, and that's what I'm trying to show you is what they've done with our history and how they've lied to us, and we've been here a lot longer than anyone has said. So one of the other things I want to point out is when you go through history and you look at all of the stuff and you start realizing that we've had many economic problems, depression, so forth. And then you could see right here, and this ain't even the 1900s yet, all the broken out windows in this factory or building that they had originally. And so that's what I'm trying to tell you is they let these cities get run down, then they rebuild them back up with less crap than, worse than, not as good as they were before, and then they just recycle, repeat, and that's where we're at. And so I'm going to show you that with these buildings, and we're going to go through time and show you the necessities of this. Okay, so if we go on these two buildings right here, these two right here, and you can see where they modified the one stall over here, but they hadn't modified the second one in this picture right here. You can see it. And then so the interesting thing is this tree that is right here. This tree is very important because, like I said, tree growth, it's huge. And you can look in this picture and there's no tree at all. And like I said, you could see where they changed the structure of the building and redid it. And so that's what I'm also trying to help you understand is that they redid a lot of this stuff over and over to, basically hide history and to hide how long we've been here is basically what the bottom line is. Okay, so now that I've gone through those two and I've shown you that one and you can see the tree in this one will back out and you can see where it says Central City. And then the other one is another indication on time is watch this wall for all the paint murals that they had on it, all these signs that they put up and how it changes over time. And then you have to understand building, and I could tell you right now, Trump knows about this because he either figured it out when he was building in New York or he knew about this before any of this was made public. But that's where this is at. I'm telling you, they know. We had to figure it out, and I believe that's what they were waiting for. And then so right here you can see in this building right here where I tell you they changed the church, and that is that building right there. And you can see where they went through and they redid it, and they put up a different church, which is this one right here. All right, so let's start tying this back in to show you guys the crazy matrix of this whole thing. All right, so like I was pointing out in the other one, and this is why it's going to take so long, is to show people all of the necessary changes in history that couldn't occurred in the time frame because we're looking at basically 1875 is after the fire, and that's when Central City was built because they're telling you that. And they said that pretty much the town from the original build after the fire is what exists today, that it hasn't changed that much. Well, I'm going to show you that they've been we've been here longer, and you'll have to just open your eyes and mind and think. And one of the things is look at the building and histories and know what you're looking for. So you can see here that they added onto the back half of this, and that tree is planted right there. We'll draw that out. Okay, the tree is right here, and then you could see where they added on to this back half of the building right here. And then they added another building right here. So you can see that time has passed somewhat. So this would probably, 10 years, 20 years. But that's where you're gonna see for yourself where how this is absolutely insanity. Okay, and so the tree in this picture, you can see it right here, and it's well towering. So this tree is easily probably 40 years old, and you can see the car, so it's 1920. So basically, let's do the calculator so everyone can see it, because once you start seeing the numbers and really understand what's being presented in front of you, you can understand that there's no way they could have built all of this in the time frame. So we're going to go with 1875 minus 1920. 45 years. 45 years to build all of this, and that's after the fire. And I'm going to show you pictures of that. We'll go into that where I can prove backwards that the fire, when you wake up, I'm telling you, when you wake up. All right, so I went back to the starting photograph that we started with, and you can see that that church is actually right there, and it's being built, or it's already been built, and I'm going to show you where they actually built it. And so this picture is in front of here where you can actually, this church has been changed over, but you can see the school at the top. And you can see that they still had the original tower on top of it at this time. It wasn't modified or changed yet. And so when you look at this picture compared to this picture, you can see the modification in the buildings. There's right here where they originally had it, and now you can see where they changed all the doorways. You can see where they've added another building to this, and then also you can see where they changed the church, and the church is new. And so, like I said, all of this, and if you start looking in the background of these and you start catching on what to look for, like all the mill or mining that was back here, all the tailings that came out, like they went through and they stripped this mine back and forth. It's actually, like I said, it's impressive what they did, because nobody knew what they did until I did, and now I know what to look for, so I can actually see it. But before then, I didn't know. I mean, it always kind of puzzled me on some things, but I was never able to put the cards together till now. And then if we go into more time, this is actually around 1920. Like I said, the tree is huge. Let's pull up another visual of the tree and the time change. Okay, so you can see the tree right there, but I want you to go back and remember how long were we here before that, because they put a roof on this. They planted a tree right here. Looks like they put in wooden sidewalks where this place doesn't have any sidewalks yet. They whitewashed the building and changed the top of it. And you can see the school in the background, which is right there. And then the church, which has been replaced by this one. So let's keep continuing, and then the housing and all of it. Watch as these houses are built, you have to understand that this is still standing today, and it's worth a lot of money. And now that I know, I mean, I don't know how old this house is. It could be 200 years old. What I figured out. I mean, who knows how long we've been here? And I know that Trump and them have the deal. This is the big lie that they're talking about. So I'm asking Trump or anybody else, share this with everybody you see. That way we can start getting this ball in the road to start changing humanity, because I'm going to show you that this is absolutely, our history is a lie. And I know what I'm up against, and hopefully I don't disappear, or Yeah, because yeah, it's that serious, guys. It really is that serious when you figure out what I figured out. And they'd want to keep this secret for eternity. So let's I'll keep going down this road. These are the actual good videos where you can see the difference in change in history and time. And then the other thing I want to point out once before I click off this video is all of the trees. There's no growth whatsoever. And then all of a sudden we got growth, and that's where this gets tricky.